across culture. Your one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston, and today we're going to do a recap and a review for Season 3 of The Flash, episode The New Rouges. Alright, on this episode, we get to see Captain Cold is actually back for a couple times. I call it a cameo. I don't think he's in the episode for a whole 2 minutes, but we get to see him twice in the episode. And the first time we get to see him with Top and Mirror Master, we see what actually happened, see how the particle explosion actually affected them. We see Captain Cold ran out right before the dark matter actually hit Top and Mirror Master, and we don't know how quickly Top got arrested, but we know she's definitely known. She's known. Her abilities are known. She's locked up. We see that Mirror Master has been off the scene for 3 years, and once he gets back, the first thing he wants is Snart. He wants revenge against Captain Cold, so he's killing everybody that has ties to him. So that's how they basically track down the Top. And that's how they come up the Top. And we see Top actually ends up getting away while Joe and Cecile's there talking, flirting. We see all that is going on, and that's when these two actually escape. Now, going on from there, we get to see a lot is going on with Jesse and Wally. It's this season is all about relationships. We get to see Jesse and Wally. Jesse's back. She's still here. Jesse's training. We see when she's running around the particle accelerator, she stumbles and falls. I thought she was gonna get hurt pretty bad, but she fell, she tumbled, got back on her feet, finished her run. It was first of all, the special effects. I don't know what happened this season, throughout all these shows though, minus not Wonder Woman, but Supergirl. But Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, their special effects have increased. They're amazing. Honestly, Supergirl's special effects are gonna improve too. It's kind of spotty at times, but overall, the whole DC television universe, they must have had a budget increase, or they're just getting used to using the budget they have. I don't know what it is, but the special effects are amazing this season. So we can see when Jesse and Wally Jesse and Barry go down their run. It's great. It's amazing to see they're running upside down, they're running outside the walls. We get to see the particle accelerator. We get to see when she actually stumbles. It's just great to see these new graphics they have going on. Now, we see she stumbles, she gets up, finish her run, and we see Barry just joking with her, look, you need to be, it's more than just having abilities. You need to be precise with your abilities. That's how you win. You need to understand the location that you're in, understand what advantages you have and what disadvantages you have, and use it to your advantage. And we see he laughs oh, I'm Oliver now. And it's true, because Barry has never had to train anybody besides himself. Everyone is always training Barry. Now Barry's to a point where he's training the new speedster. He's going to be training, I'm assuming he's going to be training Wally pretty soon also. We still don't know when Wally's getting his abilities and how he's going to get his abilities. But we know Barry's out here training speedsters now. So by the time Wally gets his, he'll be a lot more equipped or a lot more efficient at training speedsters. So we see this is going on. We see once Jesse is done training with Barry, she goes out with Wally. And this is the first, we've always seen the romance between Wally and Jesse. I personally enjoy it. I like to see the chemistry these two have. And going from there, we see Jesse is taking Wally's out on runs. She's flirting with him. She actually even initiates a kiss with him. Yes, Wally pulls out because of the long distance aspects of the relationship. You don't get any more long distance than Wally and Jesse. They're literally on two different Earths. Yes, they can, once she learns how to control her powers, she can go back and forth. Once he gets his abilities and learn how to control them, he can go back and forth between the two Earths. It's going to be really cool to see this new aspect of the relationship. Going on to another relationship, we get to see Barry and Iris. Barry and Iris has been working on a relationship. I actually enjoyed their chemistry more than Wally and Jesse, because they're like, even though we see how close they are, like, how much they relate to each other, how much they understand each other throughout the whole episode. We see like when Barry's like they're just laying down, flirting and everything. Then Joe walks in. We see like, which is funny to me because I understand it. Like I completely understand where Barry is going from. Like Barry, yes, he loves his girlfriend. He wants to flirt with his girlfriend. He wants to be hands-on with his girlfriend. But at the same time, he respects Joe. He doesn't want Joe to feel disrespected by Wally just being all over Iris. And I, I understand him completely. Like you don't want to just go super overboard because your parents, because your parents are there, and we see that happen. We see they even have a conversation about like, look, this is my girlfriend, blah blah blah, and neither one of them are truly comfortable with having the conversation. Like Barry has a conversation, and honestly, Joe is just trying to get out of it. So by the time they have like a mini date night, you want to call it, because we see Wally and Jesse, we see Barry and Iris, and then it's just Joe all in the corner while these two are all cuddled, like these two couples are all cuddled up watching TV or watching movies. Forgot what they were watching, but it's just like, it's weird because even Iris just stops the whole thing and is like, look, what is going on here? And we see Wally and Jesse like, oh, we can leave. Like we can leave so you guys can have this conversation, which they don't. They just have a conversation until Barry and Joe has to leave before for a meta. Now, when they leave, you see Barry actually allows Jesse to come with him, and she actually, like, I want to say it's all her fault. Because at the end of the day, she's new, he's training her. Yes, she didn't listen, but at the same time, she's young, she's going to I don't want to say like she's a kid, she's going to get into stuff, but she's still experimenting with herself. She wants to see what Barry does. She wants to see how she needs to react for her stuff, like when these incidents happen on Earth 2. So we see Barry speeds off, he tells her to stay behind, she speeds off with him. I see again these amazing effects. We can see Barry running up walls, Barry running down walls, Mary Master going in between different reflections. These special effects are amazing. I can't harp that enough. Like I don't know what's going on with the CW, what new funding they got, but these shows special effects are amazing this season. So we see all this is going on. We see Top that actually gets she basically just, well, I don't know if Mary Master left her behind or what, but he leaves her behind, and we see it's just her and Jesse. Jesse is ready to fight with her, and we see she used the real vertigo effect on her, and we see she gets real woozy, and she falls off, which forces Barry to stop what he's doing and actually go and catch Jesse while she's falling. He catches her. We see that then at the same time, Mary Master comes and locks him in a mirror. And while all this is going on, we see Caitlin, Cisco, Harry, they're doing a new recruiting process. And it's like, I love seeing this because we see how close they really are. Harry feels like, even though it's Harry's idea, he feels like he's being replaced. He does not want to be replaced. He loves this team. And he's literally replacing himself with himself. He did all the math. He sent it out into the I don't know what you call the little vortex between the two places, but he sent it out to all. I don't know. Like it's weird to me that Cisco said he had to open up 18 different dimensions to get him over, because why couldn't he just open up a loop between Earth 1 and Earth 18? So yeah. And that happens, and honestly, I don't know if it's true or not, but we actually find out that Earth 1 isn't Earth Prime. Are they two different Earths? Because when we listen to all the recruitment videos, when they get once they solve the problem, it sends back a message from Tetra Prime. Tetra is normally a term used for Earth, or not Tetra, but Terra Prime. Terra is normally used for Earth, and when we hear that, everybody was assuming that Earth 1 was Earth Prime, So maybe the Earth that we know and used to isn't really Earth Prime. Like, it's literally Earth Prime would be Earth like 0, I guess, then 1 and beyond. So we see that, we hear that, just little Easter egg that they looked at each other and laughed off. So obviously it's not that big to the actual universe. But going on, we find out, that Harry really, it was his idea. He doesn't want to do it. He feels like he's being replaced. He loves these guys. Like, at the end of the day, he feels like he's part of their team, and he doesn't want that to change. And it's cool to actually see that, because honestly, when I seen Harrison Wells come last episode and he didn't do the Welcome Earth, I'm like, damn, did they cut that scene or something? I didn't even think about having an additional Harrison Wells come. Like, I don't know why I didn't think about that. I was really getting irritated, like, why they keep showing the scene when they cut it? But here we go, we got a new Harrison Wells. And with that, we see it's a different version of Harrison Wells. He's actually a lot more like friendly. We see his little hands he's doing. The hand clap thing he's doing is like ridiculous. Like, it's way too much. Way too much. And it's like, yeah, definitely way too much. But I think he'll fit in with the team just fine. I love how the team is now. We're past the first 2 episodes the first 3 episodes where the team was trying to just get back to being normal and everything. Now it feels like the Flash team that we came to love and grow used to. Now, another thing is we get to see Joe, and I think her name was Cecile, the detective. I love the chemistry between these two. I think it's by the time that Joe actually moved on. We haven't seen Joe with another love interest. Well, I don't know why I make it seem like we've been knowing Joe like 10 years, but it's the 3rd season. We know he has not been in with another partner since, well, not a partner, but another woman since, I guess, he adopted Barry. And it's crazy to think that now that he's has the chance to do it, his children are all grown. Everybody is out of the house, I'm assuming, I think, except for Wally. I guess Wally's back in the house. And he doesn't really know how to talk to women. He doesn't know what to do with women. He gets nervous when she asks him out for dinner. He gets nervous when she flirts with him. And it's funny because he tells Barry, like, oh, you're not the only one to get nervous when it comes to women. So it's pretty funny. Like, it's pretty funny to see that all these guys are so used to these individuals that they're with. Like, Jesse and Wally are pretty close. It shouldn't be that hard for him to communicate with her. Barry and Iris, it's still hard for him to communicate with her about his emotions at sometimes. And even like Joe, it's still hard for him, even though these guys are all like, they communicate about their feelings so much with each other, it's hard for them to express to other people. It's so crazy to me. Now, when Barry's locked into, I love this episode because even though the superheroes, the people with the powers aren't the one saving everybody. Yes, we get to see, like, when Barry's locked inside the glass, we see he gets his motivation speech from Iris. Like, she doesn't have any abilities, but yet she's able to, like, coach him, get him back on track. She's laughing and making jokes about the situation. Because she, like, even though it is a bad situation, she's calming him down, like, look, everything's going to be fine. And when we flip that coin, we get to see Jesse is going through the same thing. Jesse just got Barry locked into a mirror. Wally is just there to help Jessie back onto her feet. He gives her the kiss, tells her he wants to make things work with her. And we see that's working out. Now, let's move on to Caitlin. Caitlin is she's using her abilities. Like, I'm glad to see that Caitlin came out of nowhere and decided to use her abilities. Even though it kind of let Harry onto her idea that, oh, this machine wasn't working when we left. And I guess he tested again because he tells Cisco, like, the machine wasn't working. Somebody else let Barry out and we need to figure out who did. And obviously, it was Caitlin. We see Caitlin use her abilities and then she goes back to the team like it's nothing. Now, at the end of the episode, we get a nice little cut scene. We get to see Caitlin's in the shower. I didn't mean it's like a nice cut scene because she's in the shower, but we get to see how her abilities affect her. Now we see the blue lips. We see her hair is actually turning gray, or the the bleach blonde color that we're used to for Killer Frost. And it's cool. Like, I like to see that the transition that she's going through. I don't know what she's going to do. Is it every time she uses her abilities that she has to cut her hair out? Because she's taking a nice warm shower, and out of nowhere, her shower just freezes. I love those special effects. I'm not going to harp on that to it again, but we see the special effects, and we see the ice just freeze. We see from there, she's back into the mirror. Her lips are like a pale blue. When you see like with drowned victims or people who are like really cold, you see the pale blue lips. We see the bleached blonde hair. She's cutting the strand out. Has she been doing this all season? Like, is this how she's been keeping her hair? Like, pretty soon she's gonna need tracks. Like, if she keeps cutting out her hair every time she's using her abilities on accident or on purpose. So I would love to see how this is gonna go. I don't think she's gonna go full blown like Killer Frost or anything. Maybe something's gonna happen where she eventually goes, but I don't think she's gonna go there this season. And getting back to Cisco and Harry, I love the chemistry these two have. Not like, I just meant for the fact that they're bromance that's going on. We see these two are connected on a whole different vibe. They're feeding off each other, even when they're arguing. When he says, "Oh, you're trying to replace me," and obviously Cisco didn't say that. Cisco didn't even have the idea of replacing him. That was all like Harrison Wells' idea to bring a new Harry on the team in the first place. So I don't know why. Like, I understand why he's acting like this, because he wants them to be successful, but he wants to be a part of their success. Not like in a that sounded bad when I said it. I mean, he just want to be part of the team when they're doing things. Like, he helped them, and he doesn't want to leave and them or replace him, basically. Now, we see Cisco and Harry, like, they're arguing, and then they just had this aha moment. The same thing happens with Barry when he's talking to Iris. And we see that it works out. Like, I just love these two together. Like, these two feed off each other well. I don't know if the new Harrison Wells is going to feed off of Cisco the same way, but it's going to be cool to see this going on. Now, obviously, we see when Barry gets his aha moment, he takes that into effect with the mirrors. They're at the circus, the perfect place for a mirror master to be. The House of Mirrors. Why did I not see this coming? The House of Mirrors, Mirror Master. He chose a perfect location. He can go in and out of mirrors. He can attack Barry as he wants. Yes, it was a poor House of Mirrors. It had like one trail. Maybe it was a House of Mirrors with only like 20 mirrors in it. It was horrible, but for the most part, it was cool. Now, we see Barry kind of taunts him out. He runs out to a certain point, and then he runs back in and breaks every mirror until he gets into the location that he wants him at, to where he can't really use his abilities anymore because there's just too many reflections. He can't. And this is moments I actually like. I like when we see the smart side of Barry, because Barry's supposed to be a genius, but we don't really get to see it too often. We see every once in a while when he has these brilliant ideas, but we don't see it as consistent as we see Cisco's. And I wish we could get to the point where we actually see his brilliance as much as we see Cisco's brilliance. And that's really all we have for this episode. Again, it was a great episode. I love to see it. I hope we get to see more Captain Cold in the future and where we're going to go. And what else do I... Oh, for my here the speed, I don't know what I want to call this, the Heroes of the Week, I'm not going to give it to the people, to any of the speedsters, any of the metas. It has to go to Wally and Iris, just for being a great support system for the rest of the team. I for the rest of the team, just for Barry and Jesse. If these two weren't there, I don't know if Jesse and Wally would have been, or if Jesse and Barry would have been able to come together and get things figured out. These two helped our speedsters figure things out and get things gelled so that they work perfectly. I love seeing that. So for that, these two are getting my Heroes of the Week. Now, going from there, my ups for this episode, obviously the special effects. Obviously just the chemistry between all the castmates, seeing how different stories were coming along, how they're developing these characters. And my down, I don't really maybe more Captain Cold. That's not really a down. Is that really a down? Wanting more Captain Cold, not having enough is the issue. That's not really an issue. Like, he came in and stole the 2 scenes that he had. Like, I wish we had more Captain Cold. I kind of miss him from like the Legends of Tomorrow. Hopefully, we get more of them throughout the season. But that's really all we have this episode. Always, make sure you if I miss something, make sure you comment. If you disagree with something, just comment it in the section. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you could. And as always, stay lost. Back all the way from season 1 of Legends. So if you remember in season 1 of Legends, doing a review and a recap for Supergirl season 2, episode 3.